32-year-old Issei Sagawa had a deep, dark secret. He had been hungry for the taste of human flesh since he was a young child in first grade, where he stared at a classmate's thigh and thought that it looked delicious. He would go on to make many attempts to cannibalize sex workers, but finally only succeeded in killing and eating his classmate. Hi everyone, today we'll be talking about the story of Issei Sagawa, a cannibal who was caught after he murdered and ate parts of his female classmate. Despite all that, he was never convicted for his crime and continues to be a free man in Japan till today. Just a warning, this video contains very graphic crime scene photos and is not suitable for minors. If you're interested in dark and mysterious stories, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on all notification buttons to stay updated on all of our latest videos. Let's continue. Born premature on 26 April 1949, Issei was a frail and tiny infant who almost died before his mother could give birth to him. Due to being born prematurely, he suffered from a number of serious health issues. Fortunately, his parents were wealthy. His father was a businessman who served as the president of Kurita Water Industries. When he was young, his father and uncle would play games with Issei and his younger brother. The men pretended to be giants who wanted to eat them, and Issei claims this started his obsession with cannibalism. Issei's introverted personality and poor health led him to develop a strong interest in literature. He eventually completed a master's degree in English literature in Japan. Issei grew up to be small and thin, with a height of only 4 feet 9. He claimed that he felt the need to consume human flesh from as young as in first grade. As he was physically weak, he became infatuated with tall, healthy-looking Western women. Women whom he described as the exact opposite of his short, ugly self. He said, "Eventually, I began feeling a strong desire to bite into them. Not to kill them or eat them per se, but merely to gnaw on their flesh." This culminated into an incident in 1972. While studying in university in Tokyo, he became attracted to a German woman who was teaching him the language. One day, he crawled in through the window of her apartment with the intention of cannibalizing her. She was asleep and was not wearing much. Delighted, he reached for an umbrella which he wanted to use to knock her out. She awoke, screamed, and overpowered him. He was captured by police and charged with attempted rape as he did not confess to his true intentions. His wealthy father then paid a settlement to the lady so that the charges were dropped. 5 years after he was arrested for the incident with the German woman, he moved to Paris to study literature at the prestigious Sorbonne University. He met the beautiful Dutch woman Renee Hartevelt and asked her to teach him German. She agreed, since his wealthy father was able to pay her well. The duo developed an unlikely friendship due to their common interests. Little did Renee know that Issei was plotting to kill her. On June 11, 1981, Issei invited Renee to his home for dinner. He had a cassette recorder, he told her, and he wished to record her reading of a poem by his favourite German expressionist. She agreed, and at his home, he gave her a cup of tea laced with whiskey to make her more pliant. After waiting for the drink to take effect, Issei told her he loved her and wanted to take her to bed. She disagreed, telling him she only wanted to be his friend. Issei nodded his okay and gave her the poem to read. As she started reading it, he came up behind her with a rifle he bought previously and shot her in the back of her neck. He fainted due to the shock of what he had done, but woke up with the realization that he needed to carry out his plan. He had sex with her body, but found that he could not bite into her flesh with his teeth. Using a knife, he sliced into her buttocks and placed a chunk in his mouth. He said that it melted in my mouth like raw tuna in a sushi restaurant. He went on to consume various parts of her body, either raw or cooked, and saved other parts in the refrigerator. He took photos of her body at each stage of his eating her. At this point, her body had started to smell, and Issei bought 2 suitcases to hide and dispose of her body in a public park. He called a cab, and the surprised taxi driver jokingly asked if the bags contained a dead body as they heaved it into the vehicle. Issei wanted to shove the suitcases in the pond, but gave up as they were too heavy. He also noticed people watching him and quickly ran away. Police caught Issei 4 days later. Issei's wealthy father provided a lawyer for his defense. After being held for 2 years while awaiting trial, Issei was found to be criminally insane and unfit to stand trial by the French judge. He was ordered to be held indefinitely in a mental institution instead. In the meantime, Issei spoke with author Inohiko Yomota and published an account of his killing in Japan titled In the Fog. His subsequent fame and macabre celebrity were likely reasons why French authorities deported Issei back to Japan. His father's deep pockets certainly helped too. Once back, he was committed to Matsuzawa Hospital in Tokyo, where psychologists declared him sane. Since the charges against Issei were dropped in France, the court documents were sealed and not released to Japanese authorities. Because of that, he could not be charged in Japan and remained a free man since 12 August 1986. Since his release from the hospital, Issei had capitalized on public interest and became a guest speaker and contributed to weekly columns. He gave a guest lecture at a university and also appeared in pornographic films. In 2005, Issei was barred from attending his parents' funeral. As public interest in him waned, he struggled to find work and had to be on welfare benefits. His crime cast appeal not just over himself, but over his family as well. His brother became ill from the stress, his father had to resign from his job, and his mother even tried to commit suicide. In an interview, Issei said that being forced to make a living while being known as a cannibal and murderer was a terrible punishment. He allegedly suffers from diabetes and had suffered 2 heart attacks. As of 2021, he continues to live as a free man. Does it terrify you that a known murderer and cannibal walks the streets freely in Japan? What does it say about wealth and the justice system that Issei walks free? Anyway guys, that's it for today. Drop a comment down below on what you think of this video. If you have other stories you wish for me to cover, leave a comment and a link for me to look deeper into it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our latest videos. I'll see you in our next campfire stories. Thank you for watching.